let's get cutting. Hey guys, what's going on? We're back and I'm going to give you an update on all the projects for the winter build on the CB7. So I am like super excited for what I'm about to show you. I'm about to take better care of my car. So check this out. You see it's uncovered. It's doing so much better now it's uncovered. Let me explain what happened. So what happened with this car cover, when it would rain, it would trap water and moisture inside the car, in between the car cover and the car itself and inside the car. And when I opened the car after the rain, I saw something I really didn't like. All my seats were moldy, seat belts were moldy, steering wheel was moldy, dashboard was moldy, there was drips of water on the roof. You know, everything that had cloth or leather was moldy, and it stank like must. It was terrible. And so I had to air the car out for days, dry it out. It was a nightmare. I'm done with this car cover. Say hello to my little friend. We've got here Harbor Freight Special, baby. We have a Cover Pro 10 feet by 17 feet canopy, perfect for this car. It's got the perfect dimensions for the car. So you can see right here, we've got 8 feet tall, 6 foot tall door that can close. We've got a 10 feet by 17 foot floor plan, and this is going to protect the car so much better than that stupid thing, which is going in the garbage. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's build this car canopy. Yeah, that sucked, but it's done. Wasn't worth filming. So I've got the hood off and I moved it under the house to prepare for cutting. And now I'm going to get to the black box, which is right there. And I want to delete that and take the sensors out of that and send them onto the firewall. And then the catch can will go on that part of the firewall that's exposed. And let's hope and pray I don't have to remove this 3-point strut bar to get to all this. So I got the black box apart, as you can see. And I want to show you what's inside, just in case you were wondering. Well, these 3 sensors, and one of them, the most important one, is this. It's the map sensor. This is the OEM map sensor, and that's going to have to be plugged in before anything else, and it runs off vacuum from the throttle body. Now these other 2 sensors run off vacuum from the intake manifold past the throttle body, and they connect to both the EGR and the charcoal canister, so they are emissions things. If you don't live in California, dump it. And if you live in California, you want to smog your car, you got to keep those. So that's what's inside, and now it's time to mount that stuff to the firewall. Now here's my oil catch can, and I found that attaching it to the firewall, which had been right there, is going to be almost near impossible, because this thing has a little bracket on the back that I showed you in the previous video, which you can attach by self-tapping screws or whatnot to the firewall. But then you have to attach that bracket to the catch can on the back side with the Allen screws they give you, which will be darn near impossible once that bracket's on the wall, because you can't get to it from behind. So what I'm going to do, fix that problem, is I'm going to put the catch can right here. I'm going to attach it to that bracket, which works for the fuse box. As you can see, I have perfect access to the PVC line that I need to attach to the catch can as a middleman before it goes to the intake manifold. Well guys, here we are with the catch can installed, and as you can see, it runs from the head, positive crankcase ventilation, runs all the way to the catch can itself, and then to the intake manifold afterwards. I ran it the other day at full power, full RPM, up to the red line, and there is no leaking going on from any of the clamps or from the catch can itself, so that's super good news. Now the black box delete went like this. I took the inner bracket, which connects to the firewall, and put the sensors back in there, and it's a lot smaller without the box, and wasn't a difficult job to actually mount it to the firewall. Now you'll notice that there's a plug on top instead of this vent on the catch can, and that's because, stupid me, I was being dumb, I was thinking that positive pressure would empty out of this vent, but actually, as you can see, it's connected straight to the intake manifold. There's vacuum throughout there, so I needed to remove that because it created a giant vacuum leak right through this vent. So that's why this vent is gone. Alright, so for the hood, the cut, I've taken the necessary measurements on the car, and I've outlined this particular path, and yes, it does go through that seam, but that's okay because race cars, right? So marked off certain distances that are very important for me to match, and I'm going to cut this clean so that the intake is not sitting on top of the hood, but sitting in the hood, and I'll attach it from underneath with a few little brackets or so. So without further ado, let's get cutting.
AudioMicro.com. AudioMicro.com.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe I just did this. Well, will you look at that? It fits in there pretty well. I mean, the gap's a little too far. You could see where there was one. And you could see over here where my issues are with the giant gap. But I'm thinking about a way to press that down, and then I don't have as much gap. But overall, I'm pretty happy. It slides right in, as you can see down in the bottom. And boom, look at that hood scoop, baby. Oh, frick. I can't believe I just cut that much metal out of my car. And all that. But I did. Okay, I got the hood back here. And you can look at the underside of the hood. You can see there's some gaps that I'm going to have to fill. But I'm going to get the same type of filler that was used to fuse these two pieces of the hood together. And you can see a little bit of it on the inside, such as right there. And I need to fill here, and it'll help seal it and keep it attached. As you can see, I got a couple screws, 4 total, holding that piece into the sheet metal of the hood. So I also purchased this sheet metal right here. It's aluminum, and I need to create a chamber now inside here that goes straight from the intake, enclosed on 3 sides, not the hood, I don't need to worry about that, but enclosed on 3 sides, bottom, left, and right, and make a hole around it over here for the intake, so that the intake cuts through it and nothing else does. So it makes like a chamber, and I want the chamber to increase in size rapidly, so like adiabatic expansion, which will result in lower temperatures. And that's what I want for my air as it goes into the intake. It's already cooled enough coming from outside, but I want to get even cooler as it expands into this chamber. So let's get right to the measuring.
AudioMicro.com. AudioMicro.com.
There it is, people. All finished. Check it out. I don't have the pipe yet, the pipe sealer yet, so I can't do the edges, but it is finished. As you can see, the chamber grows in size as the air comes in through the vent, and it lines up really well, which I'll show you in a second. Alright, now you can see with the hood closed, we got good clearance there. And if you look down in there, oh yeah, nothing but the filter. I got a little gap, and we know how we're going to fix that, but the air is not coming in from the hot areas of the engine bay once this thing's fully sealed. So we're good to go racing with this, and we'll see improvements for sure. So right now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the muffler shop. A guy who's done lots of work on my exhaust before, and we're going to have him put the muffler on, okay? Let's do it! I like it a lot. I like the angle. I like the fact that it's not a fart can. Alright, that's a lot quieter. and it's a lot quieter under load too. So I'm stoked. Wasn't so sure about the tip, but I actually like it. It looks good. He was right, he couldn't cut it off, but I actually kind of like how it lifts up. Glad I didn't install it upside down. I was thinking about that too, but it's a MagnaFlow muffler, really deep resonator as you can see. Pretty wide, and it's super quiet. And I'm really glad with the purchase. So, good job, buddy. So one other thing I need to do before I start racing again is replace the shoes on these drums in the rear. And I know I should have rotover hub, discs in the front and rear, and I just haven't had time to get that. I got to get the spindles from an Odyssey. I got to get new knuckles in the front. It's a big job, and I'm not ready to do that right now, but I can at least replace the shoes, which haven't been replaced in probably forever. So that's definitely going to happen right now, and after that I'll be ready to go, man. Let's do this. Well, it's the next day, and of course you see the car's still not on all four wheels. I put the new shoes on. Now I get why people switch to discs in the rear, because that was a big pain. And I need to bleed the brakes now and set the parking brake. The self-adjusters on shoes are pretty cool, but otherwise it's a pain in the butt, and I could see why people switch. So having a friend come over, we're gonna bleed the brakes, and then I'll give it a wash and we'll be ready to race. All right, guys, she's all ready to go. We got the brakes bled, and we've done almost every single thing I wanted to do over the brake. Only things that are left to do, because the caulking gun didn't come, is to seal the intake scoop, but that wasn't like mission critical, and to put the foam pipe sealant over the edge of the intake chamber, but it's okay. She's ready to roll. I'm ready to roll, and I'm stoked because race season's coming soon. So, you guys stay tuned. We're going to be racing the next video, and for now, this is Falconator signing out.